Then we have another thing where Brittney Griner says that says something about that effing white girl. Now, can you imagine the outrage if Caitlin Clark said those things? That injuries that black girl was running.
The WNBA is once again engulfed in controversy, highlighting the ongoing issues and how it treats its top talent. Disturbing footage reportedly shows Brittney Griner referring to Caitlin Clark as a F-ing white girl after fouling out against the Indiana Fever. Meanwhile, the league that has greatly benefited from Clark's star appeal seems to ignore the consistent targeting and harassment of the very player who has kept their struggling organization afloat.
She said, but the way people are taking it is that she said some very disrespectful stuff. Alright, so let's take a look at what she is saying right here. I'm not a lip reader, but it looked like right here she says, effing white girls. Oh man, effing trash, effing white girls. Effing trash right there. Effing.
Thursday night's matchup, where the Indiana Fever defeated the Atlanta Dream 81-76, revealed behavior that was disgraceful, but unfortunately, not shocking for those familiar with how some WNBA players treat Caitlin Clark. Brittney Griner, the same athlete involved in the high-profile Russian incident and traded for the so-called Merchant of Death, seemingly struggled with being outperformed by a 22-year-old point guard who is roughly half her size.
The post from Brittney Griner, and one thing I don't understand is that, like, there is some kind of flimsy evidence, I guess. Like, we're not lip readers. We're not lip readers. She probably says trash. Like, it sounds like she has said. It looks like what it apparently says is effing.
After a difficult game in which she scored just 5 points over 25 minutes, Griner was ejected for committing too many fouls. Rather than exiting the court with the professionalism expected of a veteran athlete, cameras reportedly caught her muttering trash and F-ing white girl in reference to Caitlin Clark. Pause for a moment. Here is an experienced player, someone who should be a role model for younger athletes, resorting to racial slurs simply because she was outperformed by someone half her size.
Did not watch the game in its entirety. Brittney Griner fouled out late in the fourth, and she was in foul trouble the whole game. The referees was definitely calling everything on her. Even though the Indiana Fever really didn't get a chance to shoot a bunch of free throws that game, they was making specifically calls against Brittney Griner, and she was getting frustrated about it, man. Now, footage has surfaced, a couple different takes on this clip as well as to what she actually said. Some people saying she didn't call Caitlin Clark a effing white girl. Some people say that she say what a effing whack call. At the end of the day,
the clip, which has quickly gone viral on social media, clearly captures Griner's apparent outburst. While lip reading can be imprecise, the footage is convincing enough that even casual viewers can make out what seems to be happening. This isn't a vague gesture or muffled comment. This is a professional athlete seemingly directing racial language at a teammate simply because she struggled on the court.
A lot of very, very racist women, right? These are racist women who were told that they were God's gift to women's basketball, that they are black, and because of that, they are better than white people at sport. That's the one area that they can succeed over white people in sports, right? And this is their league, right? Then you got a young, the stereotypical white girl, pretty, skinny, is better than it comes into the sport and becomes the Michael Jordan, LeBron James of the sport. The face gets more publicity on one than they've ever got in some of their playoff, any of their games ever. Brings more money. They are extremely jealous and won't say it. They want to make it like it's typical basketball, but no, they have made it very clear. Angel Reese, the Brittney Griners, that nobody cared about their league.
If you're enjoying this coverage, don't forget to subscribe. What makes this situation even more aggravating is the context. Caitlin Clark didn't even have an exceptional night, putting up just 11 points in the win. This wasn't a blowout performance where she humiliated Griner in front of a national audience. It was simply one player doing her job while another completely lost her composure and seemingly used language that would get anyone else fired in a typical workplace. And the Griner incident wasn't the only controversy involving Clark that night, highlighting the hostile environment she faces every time she steps on a WNBA court. Clark also got into an altercation with Ryan Howard during the game, which led to technical fouls for both players.
Now, it appears that Brittney Griner has been caught on video. And yes, there's a certain amount of lip reading that's going on here, but y'all let you be the judge, because I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to try to decipher what it is Brittney Griner was saying. By the way, she fouled out of a WNBA game against Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. She plays for the Atlanta Dream now. So here we go. Brittney Griner, who Joe Biden acquired 2 years ago and maybe the most lopsided trade of all time, this side of Deshaun Watson, was caught on camera saying what appeared to be some not very nice things about white girl Caitlin Clark during her little WNBA game last.
The league's reaction to the incident was to issue both players a $30 fine, treating them as equally at fault. Consider that for a moment. The WNBA evaluated an altercation involving its biggest star and another player and deemed a mere $30 fine, essentially pocket change for professionals, sufficient punishment. Yet, when Brittney Griner seemingly directed racial slurs at that same star, the league's response was total silence. This highlights the selective enforcement and double standards that have become the WNBA's hallmark when it comes to protecting Caitlin Clark. Whenever Clark is involved in any physical altercation, the league is quick to assign equal blame and issue matching penalties, as if the player who has transformed the sport is somehow equally at fault for every negative encounter she faces. Yet, when other players cross lines that have no place in professional sports, the league seems to turn a blind eye. The $30 fine for the Howard incident becomes even more absurd when you consider the immense financial value Clark brings to the WNBA.
Thing is, I wonder what would happen if you catch one of the white players saying effing black girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would happen if Caitlin Clark was saying something around that way with her lips? Oh, the internet would burn down, fam. They will be coming at Caitlin Clark left and right. You already have some people, especially in the media, saying, oh yeah, Caitlin Clark always get these special whistles. She's this, she's that, race this, race that. So I can only imagine if she messed around and had a video that was close to something like this.
Caitlin Clark is a player whose mere presence can turn an ordinary Tuesday night game into a major cultural event. Her jersey sales have shattered league records, and her games consistently draw TV audiences that other WNBA contests can only dream of. Yet, the league treats her like any other player when it comes to discipline, while failing to protect her when she becomes the target of truly inappropriate behavior. The Griner incident, along with the league's broader treatment of Clark, isn't an isolated case. It's part of a clear, systematic pattern of targeting that has become impossible to ignore. The Brittney Griner incident highlights a troubling pattern in the WNBA. While Caitlin Clark transforms the league with record-breaking performances, jersey sales, and massive viewership, she faces constant targeting and harassment, often without meaningful league intervention. Griner's apparent use of racial language isn't just poor sportsmanship. It underscores how some players resort to toxic behavior when they can't match Clark's success. Meanwhile, the league's selective enforcement, like trivial fines for minor altercations, signals a failure to protect its most valuable asset. By ignoring such behavior, the WNBA risks not only alienating its star players and fans, but also sending a message to young athletes that excellence invites harassment rather than celebration. A suspension for Griner would affirm that racial language and hostile conduct are unacceptable and show that the league values professional standards and player protection above avoiding controversy.